This shit straight now.
Yeah, it'll focus.
Yeah.
There we go.
Oh yeah. Welcome to another Saturday night with the Archaeological Society of Crate Diggers Radio and Podcast Show. We got a very special evening planned for you guys tonight. We got the eloquent, the class, the hustler, the diva, Miss Latasha, the owner of El Marie Nail Lacquer.
Hey y'all!
What up, Tasha?
How's everybody doing? Tasha.
Okay.
People that know me call me Tasha.
Right. You know? So what's been going on? What we got going on here?
So El Marie Nail Lacquer. This is a toxin-free nail lacquer that I drummed up years ago and launched in 2017.
Hold on a second. Could you shut that door for me real quick? I can hear the radio feedback. Sorry about that. So
launched in 2017. These are nail lacquers that I make.
Okay, and you make them on your own. You do all the manufacturing.
I do all manufacturing, labeling, bottling, marketing, like you name it, okay. I do it.
Oh, cool. That's real good.
So.
Yeah.
Right.
So you say you launched this in 2017.
Right. I was earning my master's, and I said, you know what? Once I graduate, I want to do something. I want to be on the creating side as opposed to consuming all the time. I feel like all we do is consume. We just buy. But what about the production side?
Yeah.
And so ownership is important.
How long did it take you to find? I mean, up until 2017. How long was you working on it?
For about 4 years.
So you actually started in 2013.
Right. Just just doing the research and making sure that I had the right formula and the right products and just kind of doing everything that you should do before you launch. Getting everything in order, securing your trademark, making sure the name isn't used. It's a process, but it's a fun process. And I think you have to go into anything with, passion, right? You gotta be passionate about what you're doing. You can't, for me, I'm not in this business because it's all about the money. Like, I wanted to go into this business because I feel like we can still be beautiful, but we can be healthy while we're doing it.
Yeah, and I'm happy to see you doing this because, I'm very avid social media user, and like the trend over the last few years is like, well, I see the women going to other people to get their nails and feet done or whatever, and then they having conflict with those people.
Right.
And so, so I was wondering, like, do we have anybody in our community?
There are Black-owned nail salons now, and I think this is a business where I'm beginning to see more and more people that look like me. That was also another huge reason why I got into the business, because I didn't see anyone that looked like me, and I'm like, you know what? There's room for everybody at the top.
Okay.
You have to be willing, dedicated, and committed to whatever it is you're doing. And like I said, there definitely are more and more Black-owned nail salons popping up, and so that's really good to see.
Have you felt like intimidated going in as a woman, Black woman in this market?
No, actually, no. I'm a lifelong consumer. I think that I'm someone who is fearless. I feel like you have to be that way. And so when you go into something with that mindset, and don't get me wrong, I think that when you're starting a business, there is always that, you feel a bit nervous, right? Because you really don't know what to expect. But I think that you keep your eyes on the prize, you focus, you're dedicated. Like this is a lifestyle. You have to integrate whatever it is that you're doing in terms of business into your everyday. Eat, sleep, breathe, whatever it is you're doing. So intimidation, definitely not. I think that everyone has their own target audience. Kind of have to find your people, target those people, go after those people. And so, there's tons of brands out there, right? So the market is definitely saturated. But like I said, this world is so big. you know, and someone may shop with me because they like my ingredients. They love the colors I produce, or they like what the business is all about versus shopping with a competitor.
Now, how does someone shop with you?
So we have an entire website that I designed myself.
You're like the Renaissance.
Oh my God, let me
everything.
tell you. So I was never really a techie person. Like I knew some things, but not really, right? But anyway, I built out the website from like start to finish, literally the graphics, everything. Like I do all the photography, you name it, I do it. And it's a amazing learning process.
Yeah.
And I think when you're starting out, you really don't have the resources all the time to hire someone to do something. And so for me, I'm like, you know what? I can do this.
But we live in a tech world. I mean, you have your office in your pocket. So
Right.
I mean, you have your office, you have your photography studio, you have your video studio.
Yeah.
You can edit on your phone. You can
Everything.
do PowerPoints on your phone and everything. So
that cell phone is amazing. I mean, I can, you know, like when an order comes through, I get alerted on the phone, like, hey, you have an order. You got to prepare this order. But so the website is elmarienaillacquer.com.
Elmarie Nail Lacquer.
And that's LMARIENAILLACQUER.com. And you can also shop through Instagram, Facebook. We have an affiliate in the Bronx right now. Former supermodel Cheryl Roberts. She started Vintage Style. So Indigo Vintage Style is the name of her boutique. And so she, you know, shopped with us over the holiday and sold our products.
Cool.
So we're super stoked about that. Also, starting out, we were picked up by a Black-owned beauty box. You know, beauty boxes is what people subscribe to like on a monthly basis, and they get to test out the latest and greatest new beauty products, whether it's, you know, or even like skin, hair, beauty, nails. And so they loved our product and picked it up. So that was super dope too. So, you know, that's, and of course, we're trying to gain more and more, you know, partnerships with, you know, not going to say whoever, because I do think you kind of have to sift out the right partnership, you know, but we're definitely looking to get into more doors.
So are you guys in partnerships with like any local nail salons? Not
yet. So a lot of nail salons, they purchase from like a wholesaler, you know, there's wholesalers, a lot of times it's Asian owned, and it's a little tricky. So right now I'm trying to, you know, do my research again, make sure it's the right partnership, the right salon, and go directly to the source. You know, when you're in this business, you can't be shy about, like, I've called salons around the city, like, hey, this is who I am, this is what we're doing. You know, I would love to send you some products to try.
Okay.
A lot of people are open to that, and they, you know, they'll try it out. They'll let you know what they think. If they want to carry it, can they carry it? So yeah, that's, you know, it's an ongoing, everyday, you know, process. But again, I love it. So much fun.
So before we continue, this is what we ask all our guests. Have you ever played a record? Have you ever put a needle on a record and actually played a record?
Oh, if I did.
I know I don't want to give your age. That's kind of like, you know, telling your age, but
so
this is the Archaeological Society of Crate Diggers.
So I'm gonna, like, this, I had to have been a kid doing this, right? Like my dad was really into music. My mom, you know, my dad's from the South. My mom's from the Caribbean, so you can imagine, like, we listen to everything. I have uncles who have their own reggae band.
Okay.
And so my mom had a record player.
Okay.
And then, you know, shortly after, transitioned to like the cassette tapes.
Okay. But when you played that record, what was the record you played?
Oh my God. See, I don't know.
You
I don't remember.
Okay.
I remember having a record player. I remember having records, but
so you don't remember looking at records?
I do. But
so
like,
did you look at the styles of the artists, like maybe like a female artist and their style that they were wearing, the clothes they wearing, or makeup.
So the records that we had was, you know, they were obviously throwback. So whether it was the bell bottoms, the hair, it was stuff like that. It wasn't really anything more current, I guess.
No, it's supposed to be current.
Right.
You know, I'm interested in, you know, that period of time.
Yes,
in
yes,
your
yes.
life.
Now, who I played, I couldn't tell you. I don't remember.
Okay.
I really don't.
So, I mean, you send me some of your favorite artists.
I
So
did.
we're gonna jump into some of that. One of the songs you sent me was Biggie Smalls.
So that was high school for me.
High school?
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's More Money, More Problems, Big Papa.
Okay, so let's get into Big Papa. Go ahead and announce it, and then we're gonna go into that.
So this is Big Papa by the Notorious B.I.G., the most amazing.
Yeah.
So they could still hear us on here. I can't play this out loud because we'll get flagged for copyright, so we don't play the music on here. So we can still keep talking because they can
have
still
to listen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like when we play non-copyrighted music, we can play it on here.
Oh, so the listeners, they can see us, but they can't hear the music.
Right.
Okay. So they have to tune in. So you'd be like, you tell them.
Well, they could go to
Tune in.
radio.iit.edu.
Okay.
Yeah, they can also call in too.
Huh?
They can also call in.
Oh, they can call in too?
Yeah.
What's the? Do you guys take call-ins?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
567.
Wait.
88.
Tell me.
312.
Okay.
If you want to call in to ask any questions, you can reach us at 312
567.
567
38.
3088.
Yeah.
That's 312 567 3088. Make sure you call in.
Yes.
So he got this from Juicy, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No. That's the Rising Brothers.
Which one?
Between the sheets.
Huh?
Between the sheets. Between the sheets.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
between the sheets.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't send you the references. Yeah.
Yeah, I think about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Isley Brothers.
Yeah.
Okay. No one can hear us right now, right?
They can hear us on there. They can't hear us on the radio.
Oh, so lost.
Yeah.
Technology.
So we're constantly we're video recording here,
okay,
and
okay,
we're
okay.
live.
You
So
guys can see my nails tonight?
yeah. So and you did that design.
yes.
Wow.
This is just a straight line here.
That's cool. So
Cool.
this is the camera. So if you put them right there, they could definitely see them. So this is her line. You guys can check us out at radio.iit.edu. You can also call in at 312 567 3088.
See, everybody's vibing. Look.
All right. That was Big Papa by Biggest Smalls. So Biggest Smalls. So that was inspired by Between the Sheets from Isley Brothers. What do you think about that sample? Do you like the way they flipped that?
Oh, I love it.
Okay.
I love it.
So we're gonna get into the original one.
Yeah.
They didn't do too much difference. I think it was just a
They
straight
kept
look.
yeah. Other than the lyrics, you know. And then who doesn't love the Isley Brothers, right?
Right.
Like, perfect.
Wow.
Oh, she said, say the number again. Hold on. 312-567.
3088.
3088.
Who is it?
People are waving.
You could talk and
Oh, I can talk to them now?
You can talk to
Oh.
them and
Guys,
tell them
I'm new
anything
to
you
this,
want
guys.
to tell them.
I'm new to this, but
Yeah.
I would absolutely love it if you support El Marie. We're currently, it's not just a nail lacquer business. In the near future, I'm looking to link with, local, not charities, but charities in a sense, and see how we can give back. Because I think at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. And you'll be hearing more about that in the near future. So, and also anyone that wants to try samples, definitely hit us up on Instagram. You can DM us, send an email, however you want to do it. I'm always willing to send out samples for people to try. So let me know.
Give them your email address again.
Yes, so you can reach me it's elmarie@gmail.com. So that's LMARIENAILLACQUER@gmail.com.
And what about your social media platforms?
So you can find us on Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest,
Under the same
name. It's all El Marie, nail lacquer. Yeah.
So in the future, are you planning on doing any photo shoots with models?
Oh, absolutely. It's in the works.
Okay.
It's definitely in the works. Right now it's mostly me. I do have some,
Okay.
but you'll begin to see more and more and more. It's like I said, it's a process, and when it's a one-woman show,
Right.
most of the time, I do have assistance with the fiance and the kids.
Yeah.
They'll help put models
Get some
together.
younger girls to help you.
Yeah,
They'd be enthused about it. I know my daughter
absolutely.
would love it.
You think she would love to help us?
Yeah, she would love to help you.
Come and see you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. You could be a mentor.
Okay. See what's happening here. Okay. Perfect. Yes, I would love to. Absolutely.
I know the bottles that she got from you.
Yes. I sent her. It's called "Tell Me About It," and I think was it Honeybee? Yellow?
They were yellow and blue. That's all I know.
Yep.
Yellow and
So
blue.
exactly. So Honeybee that's a yellow, and it's spelled. It's not HONEY. It's HUNNEY. Like how people sometimes how we address each other, like when women talk to each other, and then it's B as BE and not BEE.
Okay.
So it's just like honey, be yourself. Like honey, just be.
Okay.
So
that's nice.
Naming the colors is that much more exciting, and I literally, like the colors I'm wearing tonight currently don't have names because they're new.
Mm-hmm.
So I will sometimes I'll chat the color, send the colors to like in a group text,
Mm-hmm.
or I'll ask around like, hey, how does this color make you feel? What do you think about this color? What names come to mind? And so I'll get names and
So do you think you're gonna franchise into a nail salon or maybe go that direction?
Thinking about it. Thinking about it. Thinking about it.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think
Definitely.
I think it's a need for that, and
Yeah.
especially in our community.
Right.
I mean, and it seemed like that would be a good market to go into.
Absolutely. And like I said, it's a $1 billion industry, and I just really feel like there's room for everyone.
You know, I was thinking like a mobile. I mean, you could take the idea, but it's probably not even.
I might have
probably
thought it up already.
had the idea, but
Shoot.
like set up a mobile, like where you send technicians out to people's homes and set up.
So there's something like that.
Already, huh?
Yes, in the works. That's right. Yeah.
All right, that was the Isley Brothers, In Between the Sheets. Classic. We're here with El Marie, Latasha from El Marie, Neil Lacquer. Pronounce that Lacquer, because I'm like
Say it how you feel comfortable. That's okay.
Liquor. I'm thinking about going to the liquor store.
Look, in a few hours you can do that.
Right. Hey, sometimes we go here. No, we bring it here. But,
okay.
But it's okay.
All right. Well, we're all adults, right?
Yeah,
You know? Hey, it's okay.
Right, right.
Nothing wrong with a libation.
Exactly. So we was talking about you're franchising into a nail salon eventually, or even well, we don't want to tell them. Well, they heard it on Facebook, so you know.
So there's definitely things in the works, and also just kind of discussion, talking about next steps, and But I think for me right now, it's bringing people, like kind of bringing about awareness is what I'm trying to say about what we're doing, what we're all about, getting the product in people's hands, and I think that we can do that, of course, with more partnerships, getting into like an Ulta, a Sephora,
Yeah.
I think, having access, like we want things kind of fast and easy. Oftentimes you don't want to necessarily order it and wait for it, especially a product like this. You want to walk into a store, grab it off the shelf, and use it right away. And so again, it's just working to get more.
So like if you're the producer and manufacturer, let's say if like we have another young lady who wants to just be a reseller,
right?
And
so that's also another idea that I'm entertaining. Exactly. And so targeting nail techs, stores, things of that nature. So and then kind of that would be kind of like an Avon model. Right?
Right.
Because that's kind of what Avon
like
is.
Multi-level marketing or something
right.
like that. Yeah.
Right. So, entertaining a couple things.
Yeah.
But I don't, right now there's nothing solidified in that area, but I do think that it's something that it's definitely something I thought about.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I don't know much about
Ask away.
the makeup, avenue,
I get it. So, do you have sisters? Do you have?
Yeah, I got
okay.
sisters.
Mama.
Yeah. My thing is though, and like in my community, even in the suburbs, I see that field in our neighborhoods is like dominated by
Asians,
as far as getting nails done, feet done, and all that. So that's why I asked that intimidation question earlier. Like, do you feel like
you in a no-win battle?
I'm digging the product, and it's like I would love to see young black women grasp to it and go and use it at these salons.
Right. No, definitely. And I think so.
Is it like like as far as distribution of these products,
right?
And for them to use it at their stores and these hair these big hair spots that
like a Paul Mitchell or something like that, or a Mario Tricoci, something like that.
Well, that they have, like, for example, like 115 homes there, Asian started setting up a hair care product.
The beauty supply stores. Okay. Yeah.
So, like, is it, they have like a certain market I'm sure
they had it sold up. It seemed like they
Well,
got the market
yeah, they
sold
got
up.
it sold up.
I think that we've fallen into not a trap, but a lot of times we want things for less, right? A lot of times we don't really want to pay the money.
All the time we don't. I mean, if we could get it, that's human
So
nature.
that, you know what, it is, but it isn't. And I think, so yes, I like bargains too, don't get me wrong. I'm a bargain shopper. We do. We all want to feel like we're getting, you know, the most bang for our buck. We do. But I think it's just educating people. Our people, it's educating people on why they should think about things a little differently. And I think if we want to see more Black-owned anything, we have to sow back into our communities and our people.
Invest into each other.
And you really do. You really do. I feel like every other culture does that.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And a lot of times they're not really shy about spending. I feel like we have to get out of that mindset of always wanting a deal and understand that, yeah, you can have a deal sometimes, but not all the time. You can't always get something for free, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that is truly the only way we are going to begin to see, you know, more and more storefronts or brick and mortar Black owned. I just feel like we have to support. We have to not expect things for less.
Exactly. And the deal is in that when I purchase from you or buy your products, you're able to send one of your children to college, who in terms uplift us as a race. Right. And so that's the deal. Right. Like, you know, so it's
so much deeper, you know. But I think, like I said, this is like an amazing platform to educate people on why they should support not only Black owned but small businesses, because you never know who you're helping and what that next person can do or be, and how they'll get back.
Anything in the future for the brothers, though. You got the nail. Can we get some body wash?
Some body wash? So
socks.
So I will say that I do have male customers that
maybe the clear nails.
They do, but and so for instance, like my fiance, he gets, you know, manicures, pedicures, but of course he'll just get it buffed out. But it's all about the nail care. So I will definitely, I can need some moisturizing hand lotion. I can get those cuticles together for you, so when you go to caress your woman's back, your hands are soft. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you also do like moisturizing hand lotion?
So that's coming.
That's coming.
I'll be doing a show coming up, the Kennedy King College show.
So everything you do, keep us posted.
I will.
We are definitely whatever you do.
Yeah, definitely. So I'll be introducing cuticle oils there. But think about it.
I want to tell you a story.
That's new, man.
Some our cuticles, especially with this weather. It gets dry, cracked. Sometimes it can hurt, it can peel. Like, you want that to be nice and soft. I don't know if you hold anyone's hand, but you might. They want your hands to be nice and soft sometimes too, So
I want to tell you a story. I have two daughters. One is 23, and the other is.
I was really shocked to hear that, but yeah.
And so this was about 5 years ago. My 23 came to visit me. She was in college.
Okay.
And so she came with blonde hair, like straight hair, and then we had started dreading my youngest daughter hair up. And so when she saw her, she was like, "Dad, she's gonna have a hard time." I'm thinking, like, what are you talking about? So you came to my mind. And like, I have other friends who, like, because I see you walking around, we're colleagues. Right. So I see you walking around, rocking your natural fro and everything, proud, and that's like classy to me, like eloquent. And we work in an environment where, our environment is pretty liberal.
It is.
I can say it's
pretty, it is. I think so. Given our staff and faculty that are there that occupy the space, they're pretty
right. So, but I was thinking that my daughter, I had an argument with my daughter. Like, she couldn't win that argument. Like, but now she has her natural hair. She's my oldest daughter is rocking her natural now. She's natural, but she's still blonde, which is cool.
Which is fine.
Yeah, that's cool. But she don't straighten it no more. She just rocks it.
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it. And mine is just it's blown out today, but it's still big. like the picture.
I've seen a lot of black women doing natural, and that's so good. You know, the eyelash thing. Oh
Is it too much for you?
That's what's the little Muppet with the big
Oh
eyelashes?
no!
That's a lot.
I can't name it.
I mean, it's just getting out of hand, you know. I just like a natural thing right now.
You know, yeah, I mean, I love the natural as well, but I also think that do some women overdo it? Sure.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
but I think that it's a form of expression. You know, they're expressing how they felt that day or how they're feeling that day or whatever. But no, so in terms of natural, like I think it's been probably 6 years maybe for me now, 5, 6 years.
What made you say?
You know what?
You saved a lot of money, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. But I think for me, it was a transition because, and I'll actually transition it back into the to my nail lacquer, is that like when my mom is again from the Caribbean, she came to the States with this beautiful afro, you know, just beautiful hair, right? And you look back at her pictures and like, wow, that's really pretty. But I think there was a movement. There was a movement here in Chicago, maybe other states too. But everyone was kind of like, you started to see more and more women like, I'm not going to, you know, I'm gonna forget about the creamy crack, like I'm done with that. And then you start to learn what's in these products and what are the long-term effects, and what it's doing to your system, and how a lot of women are either balding or, you know, other things are occurring that aren't good. And so that was the first step for me. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try this. So the first time I tried, I failed. I was natural for like 6 months, and I was like, I can't do this. And then my mom and I looked at each other, and she was like, so it's funny. My mom and my sister and I, who was 2 years apart. Hey, mommy. Hey, Toya. We decided we were gonna go natural together. My sister kept going. My mom and I, we looked at each other, had a conversation like, we ran and got the relaxer that day, put it in ourselves. And I was like, oh, why did we do that? We were doing so well. So after that, like 4 weeks passed, you know, you get a relaxer every 4 to 6 weeks. That's at least how we were doing it, which is obviously too much. And so we decided, that, you know what? No, we got to stop doing this. We have to think about our health. Let's not do this, right? So we kept going. And it was the most amazing thing that I've ever done. Like, you know, it's beautiful. It's versatile. It's who we are, right?
Yes.
And I think that you know, it does take some getting used to for people that, you know, when you're straight most of your life and then you go natural and you've got this kinky hair that you now have to take more time to manage,
Right,
and
right.
it takes a little more care.
I'm more attractive to women who are natural.
Yeah.
Like I wonder, because the more I see natural women and I see that as attractive, the more when I see women that's unnatural, it looks like kind of funny. And I'll be like, I want to ask a question. Like, would you date Al Sharpton or somebody who wears a perm? I'm just saying, like a black man that wears a perm.
Yeah, I know really.
You know what? No, I can't say that I ever have.
Would you go? I mean, I know you.
You maybe Ice-T.
Your fiance right now. You met the first time I seen him.
And he had hair. I'll probably keep walking. I mean, I might say hi. Yeah, that's not a look that I like, right? So I guess, is that how you guys feel?
I mean, now I'm starting to feel that way.
Really?
Now I'm starting to feel that way. So
that's really interesting. Wow. That's
Yeah.
But
I mean, it's acceptable, and then you don't want to be judgmental about one's hair because you don't know the trials and tribulations they go through with their hair.
I think it's a competition thing with women. Because women, like some women who are not, women got this thing, they look at each other, you know, and like they look at the hair, and then they probably go in the room later on and be like, you know, I want to have my hair like her. So
I think that we're inspired by each other. Yeah. Absolutely. But again, that was the start of it for me. It was the hair. And then and so I would see other women with natural hair. I'm like, wow, that's really beautiful. I want that. And now I have it because I kept going. I committed to the journey and I kept going. And I think it was the most amazing decision, right?
How much money you think?
Oh my gosh. At one point, I was in the salon weekly, right? And, you know, just to maintain that straight look. And I think I was paying probably about 60 to 75 every week for years. It's a lot, right? And so that was like the first start for me. So it was the hair. And then I changed the way that I was eating. Like I stopped eating a certain way, like in terms of, you know, I became pescatarian. Right. Where you'll only eat seafood. Seafood, you don't eat any other protein, right? Well, not protein. Protein in terms of like you don't have chicken or turkey or beef or pork. So you have everything else. Fish, I do seafood. But anyway, so that was a transition. And then that led me to, I'm like, you know what? If I'm making all these changes and I care this much, I'm sure that other women care as well, which is what gravitated me towards the natural nail lacquer, because it really forced me to kind of take a look at everything that I was doing that wasn't good for me, right? And so it was the creamy crack. I'm like, okay, this is definitely not good, right? I can't keep eating this way. And then I'm like, okay, you know.
So I can ask you for your advice. I took my daughter to the store the other day. She gets allowance now. So instead of buying candy,
good job, Dad.
Instead of buying candy, she buy nails.
That's
like,
great.
So, but like I don't know what type of nails to get her. So like I brought her nails and I walked in the room. I'm like, don't you need a mask for this?
Well, she's probably, is she purchasing like the stick-on nails? Or
No,
are they like stickers?
Glue.
I mean, she's probably getting like, yeah, I know you mean like the tips. I don't necessarily know that I don't think it's the worst thing to do. You know, but I also don't think that it's the best, only because it's glue, and it's a chemical. It is a chemical, but I think it's not the worst thing. It's not like she's using acrylic. It's not like she's having her nails filed down in a salon, which they often do. And trust me, there's a lot more chemical out there, and that's probably the least of your burdens. But what I do appreciate is that she's being creative.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so that was another thing for me. Like in our household, we were encouraged to be creative, use your hands, build something, draw something. So, you know, got Sketcher, people that can sketch and create art, and my mom can create clothing and everything else. And so so nails was the other thing. How creative can we be with our nails? What colors are we going to use today? What designs can we make on our nails? And so I love that she's being creative now. And she's 11.
She'll be 12
right.
this year.
Yeah, like, that's perfect.
Yeah, yeah. So I was surprised she preferred nails over candy.
You know what? Hey.
And that leads me to this. I was looking on Google, like looking at album covers like Mary J. Blige.
Yeah.
And like I was looking at their nails because I was like, okay, I got Natasha coming on. Let me see what people's nails look like on these album covers. So and you sent me your list, and we were talking about Mary J. Blige.
Right.
So My Life was one of your favorite songs. So we're gonna go into some music right now, for y'all. We're gonna go into My Life. You wanna lead into it?
So this is My Life by Mary J.
Yeah. I think this article floating around on Facebook, and this female, she was showing what the chemicals did to her head.
Oh yeah, I saw that, man. It tore her off, man. It was the glue. Yeah. It was something with the glue.
This gets you all up in your feelings, right?
Yeah. it was something with the glue that she said, you know, she went in there to get it done, and it looked nice when she first got it done. She said it's about a week later that her hair started coming out because of the glue. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. So you're talking about bonding? Hair bonding?
Yeah, it was something in the glue that the lady had.
It's chemical.
Yeah, of course, you can smell it. When you go in there to get your hair done, you can actually smell it. So it's pretty bad.
Yeah. I mean,
by the way, I'm Skag. How you doing?
What's your name?
Skag is our co-host.
Natasha. Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, that glue is something special. I think, but now what you'll see is a lot of I don't like to call them beauticians, but what they'll do now is put a cap on there. They put a cap which protects the hair protects the hair.
Oh.
It's better than putting it directly on the scalp. If you put it on that scalp,
Because that's what
like
they were
with
doing in
tracks.
the beginning, and then I saw somebody had a problem with the sew-ins. I know some people that had scalp problems with the sew-ins too.
Because it can be too tight.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So man, what you had natural? That's how I feel.
You know what?
Let me see a pro.
Your hair, my hair is so much stronger, right? Like the integrity of your hair it's amazing. Versus having it relaxed, it's really thin, it sheds. And I'm not saying that your natural hair can't do that, but it really wouldn't happen like that. You would have to not take care of your hair for it to fall out in its natural state.
Would you prefer nobody relaxed hair? Would you prefer that?
Oh, absolutely.
So it'd just be wear and tear natural.
Wear and tear.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
I think the natural hair it's amazing, right? But here's the other thing too that I've learned is that not all women know what to do with their hair, period. Whether it's natural, whether it's straight. They don't know how to, they just don't know how to manage it. Some people don't have time. Right. I mean, that's not an excuse. Yeah, it's not an excuse, but it would take some time to learn how to manage it, and maybe that's.
Are you gonna get into that field as far as like moisturizers and hair care?
The hair. So.
This is good conversation.
Okay. All right.
We on the show, y'all.
We live right now?
Yeah, we live. I mean, we're not live. We on air.
So I know a thing or two about hair,
Okay, that's what I'm saying. So are you gonna make that transition on top of what you're doing already with this? To
anything is possible.
Okay.
But I think right now, we talked about new products or other products coming out in the near future, and so we talked about cuticle oils and then hand moisturizers and things of that nature. Because he talked about, he's like, well, what about the men? I'm like, well, this is what I can offer you.
Uh-oh.
But she can offer a good Valentine's Day present.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you know what? And that's also something too. If you what would you want to see for guys? Like what would you be interested in?
Products, for men's nails too, because I got working hands. My hands, callous hands. My nails is not always manicured.
Yeah.
My cuticles always tore up. I'm a material habit, so I have a lot of stuff every day. So literally something that we can use, for help protect our skin.
Right.
As well.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not trying to be vulgar or nothing.
Oh, okay. Oh boy.
I see a commercial of some ball.
We're finna go live, y'all. We're finna go live.
Talk about it. Okay.
All right.
Hey, listen.
That Was My Life by Mary J. Blige.
Yes. Love
We
Mary.
here with Latasha from El Marie.
Nail lacquer.
Nail lacquer. I was still saying nail lacquer.
Like amaretto or something.
So do you know where that song was inspired by or sampled from?
Yes.
That wasn't a sample. That was a replay.
That
right?
was it was a replay, right?
They got the coolest in-house producer.
Yep. That's right.
So that was. I was
Rolls
asking.
Royce, right? That's
I'm
right.
asking Latasha who that came from.
Rolls Royce.
It was Roy.
Wait,
Rolls Royce.
No, it was Roy Ayers. Everybody loved the sunshine.
Oh no, you sure?
Yeah. Well, we flip records here. That's what we do.
You know what? That's right. That's why you guys are here, and that's why I'm
Here we
not.
go.
That's the song. That's where it came from.
Oh yes.
So you gonna do it like that from now on the faders? You're not just gonna mute them no more?
We
I'm talking about the way you're doing on board. Yeah, I know we live here.
right, because if I mute them, they come on the speakers.
Got
So yeah.
Kind of
But
everything. Yes, you do everything.
Nah, nothing. Ain't nothing really happening.
What you saying about
Chimed
that?
in.
Yeah, man, it's called something, ball, something. I don't know if it's a powder or.
Is it a green jar thing? I think I saw that commercial.
I never think the
What is it?
But it's some product they sell for guys for their balls. So it's sales to fight water.
Goddamn
What's that?
So
It's a ball.
Well, I'm gonna Google it right now. I know I ain't not crazy. Oh,
It lets to be soft and fluffy.
no, wow.
Fluffy sack.
Oh, you about to start over here?
Okay.
So I know you use the model. I mean, I know you model. And you're an entrepreneur and a businesswoman. Have you ever did any like singing or music?
So,
Anything?
I did my first talent show when I was in 8th grade, and it was a Mariah Carey song. When you hit all those high notes,
Okay.
it was amazing.
So you sing?
I like to think that I can.
Okay. Okay.
I absolutely love singing.
Okay.
It's not something that I've explored, but you know.
So Skag,
What's up?
Latasha, she's like, she's not a singer who's aspiring to be a singer, but she can sing.
I think I have a little bit of a voice.
How you gonna deal with that? You know what I'm saying? We can produce something right now.
No.
I mean,
No.
we flip on the spot.
This is what we do right here live. This is
No.
what we do.
No.
No, okay, we gonna put you on blast.
Yeah.
No, don't do that.
We're gonna get you
Don't do
back.
that.
We get you back. We definitely get you back. We gonna put you on blast.
Let's stay centered right here.
Right
El
here.
Marie.
So let's show your nails polish
Yeah,
again,
show them to the people.
and tell them where they can find to get your find your products.
Colors. This one's called Groovy Babe. This is called Royal Princess. I'm not sure how the color is showing up. This one's called Shaded. No, this is Fireside Ash. Excuse me, Fireside Ash. You think of a fire and then the ashes that come after. It's beautiful, right? This is actually new. This does not have a name yet. What do you guys think we should call this?
I was about to ask that.
Is that a pinkish type of look?
It is. It's
I was gonna
actually
ask.
in here. It's underneath.
You did that design?
Yeah. Yeah.
You used the toothpick.
No, actually, there's something called nail tape. And so
right.
you combine two colors, but it allows you to get these beautiful straight lines, you know? So that's what I did.
Okay, what I was gonna ask was,
We finna go live.
I was gonna ask basically what inspires the colors and the titles of those.
So travel inspires the colors, culture, sometimes culinary arts.
Okay, so
You
you
know, I
just like
think-
randomly see certain things that
Sometimes
strike
you'll see something, sometimes you'll have a feeling about something, about how a color makes you feel.
you. Right.
And,
Like aura.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. And
Got
then, you know, I think a lot of times I want the names to be fun, but also empowering, right?
Right.
And so I think it's funny because a lot of women have told me that they purchase colors or nail lacquer or nail polish based on the name based on the name, right?
Right, that's
so
why
if they
I
see a name,
asked.
they're like, oh, you know, and that evokes a feeling.
Right.
And so I do, you know, and sometimes we talked about this a little earlier in terms of naming. I'll create a color and then I'll send, you know, a text to, I have tons of cousins, by the way.
The family members, right?
All beautiful cousins. We're all around this, about 2 years, a year
Yeah.
apart, you know,
Right.
and so I'll send it
Right.
to and I'll ask, because we're all consumers of nail polish, nail lacquer,
Right.
and I'll ask them what they think or, you know, what comes to mind. And sometimes I'll even ask my fiance, like, hey,
Right.
what do you
So
think?
basically, your family is your QC. That's
Absolutely.
quality control.
yes,
Nothing better than that.
Yeah.
Real life.
yeah,
Yeah, they're
They'll
gonna
tell
tell you
you-
exactly what
they
it is.
will.
No sugarcoat.
no, which is what you need, right?
Yes, you don't
need
need
that.
yes people around you.
Absolutely.
You're right.
So,
Yes.
But this for the record, we saw it in between. There is what I was trying to talk about, like some ball. This is a product called.
what does it do?
To keep it clean, it enhances the male scrotums. It makes the scrotum smell good.
Oh.
It's
Okay.
They got lotions,
Right.
right?
Wax
Uh-huh.
thing.
So you're asking me to
No,
create
no.
a product like that for you?
No.
Is that
I'm
what
saying, you brought up a point like,
Yeah.
what do men want?
Oh, right.
Right.
Now,
Things like that.
I don't know no nut cologne, but that's crazy. Like, you know.
Wait, so it's
a
a
male
it's a
product.
fragrance?
It's
It's,
like
yeah, you can show it to me. Let us see
Deodorizer?
it. Let us see it. It's like a spray, the lotion,
Oh,
the
okay.
powder, whatever.
Okay.
I don't want to say his name because I don't want
That's okay.
In French.
It's really interesting though, right? You know?
Yeah, it's just stuff like that me and use. As
But
well as
you
nail
also
care
you also
products.
said that you want your hands to be, you know,
Nice.
presentable and
Yeah.
soft and
Yes, of course.
okay,
Yes.
very good.
Lotions,
Yeah.
creams, whatever,
Yeah.
you know. And I would definitely spend money with you if you create it. So
Absolutely. Well, thank you.
I mean, I stick to the people.
Thank you.
Let us know where we can
appreciate
follow you
that.
at again and your email address. So, I mean,
You
Valentine's Day is coming up.
It's around the corner,
Yes.
fellas.
So,
Okay.
You know?
we definitely would love to.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna come and knock on this window.
I know.
The day
We
before.
We will not dodge you. We will not dodge you. We will be right there. Right.
Or I'll hunt down Alton like, hey, remember you said.
Yeah,
Anyway.
first.
I think these beauty salon stores, they should have stuff to get the brothers in there.
Yeah.
To get stuff.
You know, most I say, which I don't.
We gotta go to Walgreens.
I mean, I'm cool with going to Walgreens, man, because
No.
I saw two guys talking about getting their hair done. They both had dreads.
But
They
bro.
had a 5-minute conversation at the gas station all while I was pumping.
Oh.
I'm talking about where you go get your hair done. I was like, that's strange.
I was just about to say that. See, that's what I was hitting on. It was kind of strange because
You know,
I did go next to a beauty salon and I seen some brothers in there getting pedicures. Now, not saying that you're supposed to have your feet looking right.
yeah.
You're supposed to have your feet looking
You
right,
should.
selling right, and all that. But these dudes travel to the pedicure
My lady
more
does
than
that
a
for me, though. I
woman.
wouldn't go to the pedicure. If my girl want to do it,
They go more than women, and I'm listening to these.
You know
brothers
what,
talking, and they well, I got to keep my feet on point. Nobody's looking at your feet all day except for you. I mean, unless you're just out the shadow zone.
You know
all
what
day.
though? I will say that when you're like when I'm cuddled up next to my fiance and his feet are soft, it feels bad.
Okay, now
Right.
well, I can,
But
I
don't
can, I
you
can
do that,
tell
or do he go to the manicure?
We'll go together sometimes.
Okay.
Or he'll go.
Like I said, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. A pedicure is okay.
So
I would say
you got to get you guys
Pedicure is the
comfortable.
feet and the manicure.
Yeah,
is the hands.
your hands. And I think so now I have to get you guys comfortable going because there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. I think that, you know, we walk all the time, every day. We do a lot on our feet. We stand a lot, and that can create calluses. This cold weather can create cracked feet.
True.
And not only does it not look good in terms of appearance, but it doesn't feel good. You don't want to rip up your sheets, do you?
But you know what? I want nobody to touch my
No.
Is that too intimate for you? Are you ticklish?
Yeah,
Well,
I started laughing.
I wouldn't even say the ticklish part of it. It's just it's the way they was presenting the situation. The guys that I heard talking about it.
Right. It just makes you feel
they going
good.
regularly. Like if they break a toenail, they running back to the pedicure. You know, that type of stuff. So I'm like, man, really?
And you know what?
Like
I
if
mean-
I go get a pedicure, I'm not telling them.
No,
Like-
please don't. Please don't. I don't want
I
to
ain't
know
telling
that.
nobody. I'm just
No one. Just go.
I
Just go.
don't think men really have those conversations.
right.
But they did.
I mean,
Yes, that's what blew me.
That's
That's
a
the
little
whole thing.
different, but
Y'all actually sit around talking about getting y'all feet done more than women.
that's a little different. But I mean, I absolutely don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think it's
Like I said,
great if you
nothing
do.
wrong with it.
There's nothing wrong with it. But when the conversation I'm overhearing is they going like once.
So
every 2
you
weeks.
can email
Once
Marie
every
Nell
week.
Lacquer like we're going today. Well, I'm gonna go today. You don't you can tell me, but you don't have to tell each other. You tell me.
I'm not telling nobody.
So tell them if they go in every.
You know,
every other
I
week,
need
tell
that
them where they
data.
can-
I need that
Tell them where they
data.
can follow you at, so
Yeah.
they can get the product to.
Yeah.
Follow us on
Enhance.
Instagram, guys. Get our numbers up. Help us.
And your names.
So it's so Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, as well as the website. It's all El Marie Nail Lacquer, with the exception of the website, elmarienaillacquer.com.
For sure. For sure.
We want to
Right.
thank Latasha for stopping by.
Thank you, guys.
You're gonna hang out with us. We finna go into the Flip That Shit hour of our radio show.
Okay.
Where we flip live beats on the air, and then my man Billy Bogus gonna come and freestyle over the beat. So
Billy Bogues, are you right there?
That's really bogus.
Okay. All
We
right.
got Billy Bogus in the house.
Yeah.
He's our musical guest.
Very good. And then I also need to, since I have this platform real quick, I'd like to say what's up, hey to my babies. They're not babies, but they're my babies. Kayla, Marie, Kai, Jacob, Elijah. Hey guys, I love you guys. Thanks for supporting me. I also need to give a shout out to my fiance who's in the green room.
Oh, yeah, I just met him.
Enrico.
Yes.
Hey, Rico.
What's
Hey,
up?
Enrico.
Cool.
I don't call him
Cool
Rico.
guy.
I call him Enrico.
Enrico.
Hey, babe.
Okay.
It's Enrico.
What up,
So
Enrico?
Yeah, I met him when we walked in.
he's Colombian and Jamaican. So
Hey, that's a good dude.
that's the name. You know what I mean?
For the record,
But thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you guys for having me. This was super fun. This is my first time doing this. Like, I've been on a stage before, not for my product, but for like modeling and stuff. But this is a little different, you know?
And, I mean, we're just getting started. This is our 15th episode.
Yeah.
So the more we do it, the more we get used to it.
Right,
So
right.
you're kind of helping
You
us.
kind of making history with us.
Oh,
Right.
you know what?
In the beginning, we were not doing artists. We were not doing interviews. We were doing straight music and beats. And Shango came up with the whole idea, like, man, come on, man, we get people in here. Let's get artists. Let's talk to people. Let's talk to everybody. So we just have it coming.
Man, no.
Right.
This is like, you told me about it, and I was like, what? Where? What?
Yeah.
Like, super.
So you're making
super,
history with
Yeah,
us,
no, thank
you
you
know?
guys. Thank you. I love what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. I don't know what level or heights you want to take this to, but
we gonna go as
I
far
can
as
see
the
you. Yeah, I can absolutely see this progressing, and you know.
Thank you.
So thank you guys.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank
you.
Come on
And
back.
come back anytime. You could join us.
I will be back.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, especially when you have new product that
Yes,
you want to
Yes.
present.
new products.
Yeah.
When
I'll bring you some. You know, I'm gonna find that brand. I'll have it in hand.
No, I'll take it if you done. I'll take
Oh my
it.
God.
I don't mind. All right.
Thank you guys.
So this is the 10 o'clock hour. We'll flip that shit radio.
WIIT FM 88.9 Chicago.
Archaeological Society of Crate Diggers Radio and